Something as I'm getting up, I'm getting a run in maybe, or it could be I'm going for my walk in the morning with my dog, or
that they want to change, but there's no follow through.
You are stuck on that rut of what's going to be good for me.
And so what about the opposite? If I'm slim and I want to build muscle.
So what can you do to be more proud of your body? What can you do to make you feel a little bit better about yourself?
Welcome to Session and Secrets. And today we're in session with the person that cheers me up when I want to give up. Welcome, Coach Tailor.
Thank you for having me, Luisa.
And tell me a little bit about yourself and what do you do?
All right. So my name is Coach Tailor, or Tailor. I personally work with athletes anywhere from 6 years old to 60 plus. I work with people focusing on just getting in better shape, strength training, to athletes on multiple sports. So they could be anywhere from soccer, football, tennis, basketball, track. It's just a variety. And it could be specifically working on, I don't know, just general, I want to get better, I want to be in better shape, to I'm trying to be the star of my team. There's just levels to it, I guess you could say.
Okay. And what do you think makes men and women like discipline when it comes to fitness?
Ooh, it makes men and women discipline. When it comes to fitness, I would honestly say just staying consistent. That's the simplest way to put it, is staying consistent. Consistency is always key.
And what does consistency really look like in real life?
In real life, it would be something as I am waking up and I am making sure that I am having the proper breakfast. I am having the proper amounts of water to go about my day, to something as I'm getting up, I'm getting a run in maybe, or it could be I'm going for my walk in the morning with my dog, or whoever it could be, whatever it might be, to I'm getting into that class. There's a variety of things that you definitely have to tailor to yourself. Otherwise, you are stuck on that rut of what's going to be good for me. So you have to find something that makes you feel consistent in your day-to-day activities.
And you've trained people who say, that they want to change, but there's no follow through. What do you think is happening? What's the first lie they tell themselves?
They tell themselves most of the time, oh, I can get to it. Like, I've got time to do it. I've got time to do it. Or they'll say, I'm not in that bad of shape. It could be something also where I'm able to do this, but I'm not able to do that. So it's a lot of kind of this or that for people. And so if you're not willing to give one thing, how are you supposed to get the other? And so you have to be able to just use that consistency with it. You have to be able to make yourself want to have the change. Otherwise, you're just never going to get the results you want.
Why do you think we treat motivation as a feeling and not a decision?
Okay. I think that we treat motivation as a feeling and not a decision, because most of the time we're more, if I don't feel good, I'm not going to be able to perform properly in my workout. I'm going to be a little bit off-centered with everything. The lift might not be as good. The run might not be the exact time I wanted it to get. Or you might just end up turning around and leaving the gym or just not running. And so psychologically, you have to think of it, if I'm not feeling good, then how am I supposed to be able to do better? But then I feel like most of the time we have to look at the positives with it and get that workout in, even if you're not feeling up to it. And you might feel so much better after that workout.
So the emotional mind or the emotional state can impact your physical performance.
100%, yes. Because otherwise you could be sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, my workout's not going to go well because I feel like this. And then if you force yourself to go anyways, you could feel so much better because that could be the one thing that you did right for the day. Or it could be something that motivates you to, hey, that workout yesterday, it wasn't that great. But tomorrow, I'm going to definitely make sure I make up for the workout that kind of fell subpar.
Yeah. Like I'm going to tell you, every morning, I don't want to get out of bed. And it's like conflict. And that's why I'm always late. but I don't want to get out of bed because I'm like, oh, it's too early. I'm trying to make excuses, right? Like it's too dark, it's too cold. Or, I've been going to the gym and I'm only lifting, 30 pounds or 20 pounds. And so it does become, there's an emotional impact to it, right?
Right.
An emotional part.
But then how good do you feel after when you leave the workout? So exactly.
Yes.
And that's the biggest part of it. And it's kind of nice when you do have somebody that is there to literally coach you through things and help you be like, hey, you know what? You may feel like you're not doing well, but you're doing so good today. Like you made it. Like people always say that. And I do personally hate saying that sometimes because I know it sounds cliche. Like you did the hardest part, which was get up and show up. But it's the truth. Like it really is the truth. That is the hardest part, is showing up. Otherwise, it's going to be like, I couldn't even show up. And so you're thinking like, wow, what did I do today?
Yeah, by showing up, we're doing consistent, right? We're being consistent and we're showing consistency. And I'm going to tell you, like, sometimes I want to give up and you were like, oh, good job. And you're cheering me up. That's why I did the intro. And then I'm like, okay, I can do it. I can do it. Keep going.
Exactly. See, I love that too, because that just makes coaches feel better too. That makes me feel better knowing that, hey, like I did a little bit of something extra, because at the end of the day, this is everything that you're putting in. So you're putting in the time, I'm putting in the time to be there to help you achieve your goals.
What's your take on body positivity movement?
I love the body positivity movement for just the title alone, body positivity, because everybody is different. And nowadays, everybody is focused on things like, oh, I don't look exactly like this person does, or I'm not as strong as that person is. You're always comparing yourself to something. And so when it comes down to it, you need to think about your own body. Like we only get one body, simple as that. And it needs to be something that you're proud of. So what can you do to be more proud of your body? What can you do to make you feel a little bit better about yourself? Don't worry about anybody else, because at the end of the day, everybody needs training. Whether you are a professional athlete or you're somebody that's just starting off to somebody that's getting back in shape, you're a mother who just gave birth. There's different levels of fitness and different bodies.
Yes. Being fit or taking care of our physical body is self-care, right? It's an important part of loving your body and loving yourself.
Yes.
Because it's going to help you emotionally, mentally, and physically. And when you hear someone say, I don't have time, what do you think they're really saying?
You're making an excuse. Point blank, you are making an excuse. You have time. You just don't, like you said, I don't have time. Well, right now you're already being negative about it. So you're not going to have time, because you're going to keep thinking, if you even do make it to the gym, I don't have time to get the proper workout in, or I don't have time to do that. So I'm thinking that somebody already is being a little bit negative on their results and what they want to achieve. And so you're setting yourself back, unfortunately. And you can't really progress when you're already pushing yourself back. So when you say, I don't have time, make time. You do have time. Trust me, you have time. You have at least 10 minutes.
Yes, like we spend so much time on social media, right? Or on phones.
Yes. I'm like, if you have time to scroll, I promise you have time to put on some shoes and get outside.
Yes, but sometimes, like you said, it's an excuse and we're shutting the door, right? Mm-hmm. By saying I don't have time. It's like we're not even opening the door to possibilities.
Exactly.
And so as a coach, what's the hardest truth about fitness that most trainers don't share with clients?
The hardest truth would be it comes down to patience too. And just also, again, with that consistency, not everybody has the patience to see the results in the long run. And unfortunately, we're not going to just suddenly have the best body in, 3 to 5 business days. It's going to take 3 to 5 months. So you need to be able to be a little bit patient and take the time and stick with that routine that you've already built for yourself. So it could be something like, you know what, I got up and I at least did like a 10-minute walk today. Great. That's already part of your routine now. Now you can go on and do a lift later on the day, or if you're not able to do that, you're not able to do that. But at least you did one thing for the day. And so it's just realistically, you want to be able to feel like I did something else besides my normal routine. I added something into my routine to help me get fit, help me feel better about myself.
Okay. And what are good workout routines for beginners?
I would just saying, not to kind of harp on, I do love my track and field and things like that. That's near and dear to my heart, and running, but any type of cardio. So it could be as simple, again, as you get out and you start with a walk for the day, or you start with a run, because not everybody likes running. But if we're in a gym setting, go to the gym, get on that cardio machine, get on that elliptical, get on that bike, whatever it could be, something as simple as that. Start off with that 5 minutes, then get into a weight that you feel comfortable with using, because I know some people, they don't know how to use that equipment in the gym, or realistically, maybe you don't have access to a gym. Then go outside. Body weight is a huge thing, and not to kind of get into like the calisthenics side of things, but you can never go wrong with body weight. That is still a form of weight that you're using. You're able to have access to that. So it comes back to, comes back into a full circle here when you say, I don't have time or I don't have the equipment to do things. You've got a body, right? So you go ahead and use that body, a body in motion, like they always say, and you want to keep that body fit. So get out there. First thing, the easiest thing for beginners to do, get some cardio in, whatever that may look like. Get your heart rate up to start out that workout so you can warm up your body, and then get into the lifting side of things. And again, whether that's just, hey, I'm sitting doing some tricep dips, or I see people picking up weights and doing some bicep curls. Whatever you feel comfortable with using in the gym and that you can perform safely doing, do that. But I would also limit yourself to about 4 lifts when you're starting out, simply because you don't want to tire yourself out and then suddenly you're not able to work out the rest of the week because you're so sore because you went so hard that first time. And try and do more compound movements. I can't stress that enough, actually, because we get too focused on hitting one muscle group. Like people always say, it's leg day, it's upper body day, it's whatever it might be. Try and get more in the habit of thinking my full body, right? Because if I'm picking something up off the ground, I'm using my legs and I'm using my arms. It's more functional, especially when we're getting into it. You want to be more functionally fit before you can actually start putting on that muscle, right? We have to start from somewhere. Everybody starts from the beginning. We start from building the ground up.
Okay, so by compound, you mean working on the whole body.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And doing cardio and muscle building.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you say that, I mean, if I heard that for the first time, I would kind of just be like, oh my gosh, that's so much to do. But it's more just simple movements. So if I'm thinking of going from the ground and picking up a weight, that's one type of compound movement you can do. Something as simple as picking up the weight and hitting a squat, and you can go into like an overhead press. That's one that I do like saying that people can do. And if you feel like I don't feel strong enough to use a barbell, you can do that with dumbbells. That is one of the best ones because it also adds in that cardio aspect, because you're putting the weights down each set. You're picking them up, you're lifting them up. And it could be simple as dumbbells. Again, I'm not trying to say you need to sit there, go to the squat rack and get into those, put on those 45-pound weights on both sides and drop as low as you can and come back up. No, you have to think we have to start smaller before we can build.
Right. So what do you think when you're starting? Is it more of shape, like make sure you're keeping in shape, or the weight we're lifting?
I would say it's more the weight you're lifting when you're starting off, definitely. Because again, you don't want to grab a weight that's way too heavy for you or something that you don't know how to use. And again, you get injured. Yeah. So that's the last thing you want to do, because that's going to deter you from your fitness journey. You want to be able to get something that you're comfortable with. Sometimes people have, in some gyms or at home, you have those bikes that, like the assault bikes that you can use. Those have kind of the weighted handles so you can get into ellipticals. So that's another compound movement. You're working your legs and you're working your upper body. Or it could be something as simple as when people like to do yoga. There's nothing wrong with yoga or Pilates. It's just a good resistance-based workout. And people feel more confident, going to see somebody first. Like, I have access to a gym. I see all these things in the gym, but I don't know what to do with them.
Right. It can seem overwhelming with a sea of machines. But sometimes when I'm exercising, you're like, oh, you're looking to relax there. Like, go ahead and add more weight.
Yes.
Because a little bit of challenge, right? And,
right.
And sometimes you're like, you're trying too hard. Like, go down.
Yes. And that's the kind of the gray area of fitness too, is it's like, I don't know when I get to that certain point where I can push myself as far as, okay, I'm hitting this or say like you're doing bench press and suddenly just using the bar is too easy for you. You're like, when do I actually add weight and how much weight do I add? Gradual increments. That is another thing I cannot stress enough, is gradual increments. Don't just sit here and say, I went straight from the bar and I put on 10s or I put on 25s, because then If you suddenly like drop that weight on yourself or you're not able to lift that weight, you're discouraged and you're back to, square zero. So you want to start from a nice solid base and you build that base up slowly. And you have to be patient with it, but you will be happy with the results. You will be happy. It's just going to take some time.
Right. Not expect a six-pack after a month.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting on mine. So, and I've been doing this for over a decade. So,
You're like, keep coming to the gym, Luisa.
Exactly. Keep coming to the gym. You're going to see those results.
Okay. And so, what if I want to lose belly fat? What are the best exercises for that?
I know people are going to hate me saying this, but core. Core is a great exercise. Things also, not just core specifically, like just hitting abs, but core strengthening. So a lot of the time we want to sit here and think like sit-ups. Oh my gosh, I do not necessarily care for just doing like plain sit-ups and things like that. I get bored easily. I get bored at the gym. A lot of my workouts, I am hitting anywhere from, like 6 to 8 lifts perhaps. And it could be something that's more, one of the lifts is cardio based compared to something else. And with that being said, it comes back into core, always finishing with core or having some type of core strengthening work. Weightlifting does help your core. A lot of people think that it's not going to help me out with my core or anything. It's just going to make me look bigger or bulkier. No, that's not 100% true. When you're lifting up something that's heavier, you're already burning calories there. When you're trying to maintain that core and have a stronger core, you need to have a little bit of cardio with it also. You can sit here, again, like getting that six-pack, you're not going to get it by solely hitting 100 sit-ups a day. Maybe you're lucky and you're blessed and you have the genetics to do that. But I live in the real world and not everybody has that body. And it takes a little bit more time to get that. So simple things like we could be, like I like to say, as you know, when we're working out, I call it lazy girl core just for myself. Or if I'm with anybody else, I just say like lazy core, point blank. You can sit there, lie on a bench. You have your arms outstretched above you, kind of holding onto a bench, or not a bench, a barbell, holding onto the barbell to open that core, and you toe tap. One leg's up, one leg's down. You're doing that constant toe tap movement, right? Touching the floor on the bench. And that just helps hit all of those muscles along that core. And it seems so simple, but you hit like 3 sets of that and you're like, oh my gosh, like that actually was a workout. You don't always need to pick up a weight and sit here and hit, 100 Russian twists or something like that. There's so many varieties that you can do that are solely just body weight on top of like harder lifts too, to make you burn that fat. But cardio is your friend.
Yeah. And something we can do at home too, right?
Yes.
Like that's something we don't need to go to a gym or pay a membership to do that. And so what about the opposite? If I'm slim and I want to build muscle, that's not my problem.
Those are good problems. Those are good problems. Those are good problems. If you're slim and you want to build muscle, you have to look into definitely more supplements, I would say. And without just saying like, oh, that's the only way you're going to gain muscle, supplements. It comes down to what you're supplementing your body with as well. Not just like going out there and buying, creatine or buying different things to help you get more, bigger. But you also have to think of what you're putting into your body food-wise. How much are you eating a day? I'm not saying you need to sit there and you need to count your macros and your micros and all of those little, this, that, and the third. But you want to make sure that you are putting the right amount of protein in your body. Because otherwise, how are your muscles going to grow if you're not eating the right amount of food? Right. Mm-hmm. You're not having the right amount of protein. You're not properly carbo loading. You need to eat. You got to eat, okay? That should be the most exciting part. Like you said, like you may not be the skinniest person, but if you tell me I need to eat to gain muscle and get bigger, oh, done. I'm going to do it.
So how important is diet when it comes to fitness and seeing results?
Diet is very important. And I mean, like people will say too, another little cliche saying, but also 100% true is, abs are built in the kitchen, bodies are built in the kitchen. What we put into our body is so key to getting the results that we want. It could be something like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and you want to have that sweets, right? You want to have that baked good, that baked pastry, or you want to drink that soda pop. Think again. Wait until the end of the week when you feel like, all right, I was able to hit all of those workouts. So now I think, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and treat myself to that. But not necessarily something like treat yourself, but think of it as I did so well, so I am going to go ahead and eat whatever I want because I hit the goals I needed to for the week. And even then, don't deter yourself from enjoying those things midweek because then just think of it this way. I had that, so guess what? I'm going to go and I'm going to work out harder the next day. I hate thinking that you have to have the perfect diet to have the perfect body. You need to have a good diet to have the body you want. And that's just something that everybody has to be realistic with is diets are different. I'm vegan. I do not have the same diet as everybody else. There's different supplements that I have to take compared to somebody else that eats meat or eats anything else that I don't eat. Mm-hmm. And so you have to go with what's right for your body. Yeah. I'm not trying to sit here and say you have to take these supplements. You have to eat these foods. You need to eat the proper things for you to gain the muscle that you want and to also just sustain yourself, right? If I'm sitting here eating once a day, I'm going to be miserable because I'm going to still be hungry. I'm not going to be able to perform as hard as I want to perform.
Right. And maybe I'm going to have to drink more caffeine or have more sugars to balance that.
Right. And then you're going to crash because you're having too many sugars. But don't get me wrong. I love caffeine. I am a 3-cupper a day to start my mornings.
And what's your, what do you think, what's social media, what role is it playing now with fitness and the culture of fitness?
Okay, social media and fitness. I personally am not the biggest fan of social media and fitness just because, and it's not necessarily knocking anybody that's on social media promoting their fitness. I get it. Like we have fitness influencers and all of that. I just think that people need to also be realistic with the fitness influencers that they follow because they started from somewhere too. And sometimes people will get very discouraged. They see like, oh my gosh, look at so-and-so. They look so good right now. But how about how they looked when they started? Or how about that set that they didn't show you that they didn't finish because they weren't able to finish the set because it might have been too heavy or because they had an off day. You have to think at the end of the day, we are putting certain things on social media that we know look good, but you have to also be realistic that we're not seeing everything that they are doing outside of the social media aspect. You're not seeing what they're eating in the kitchen. You're not seeing maybe some of the cardio aspects that they're doing. You're not seeing their struggle. There's a process in getting there. And unfortunately, we always like to romanticize when we're there and when we look good, when you've got the perfect cute workout set on, or when your abs are like glistening and you're outside, the sun's hitting you just right, like the sweat looks good. But you just have to be realistic with what you're seeing on social media and knowing that they went through their own journey to get there also, and let yourself be on a journey for you. Don't solely base everything you see on social media and get discouraged because you don't look like somebody that you're seeing on social media. You have to be realistic. Make yourself your social media star. Be like, look at me a month ago. Look at this. And look at me today. Like, I look so good. Like, think of it as that aspect. Be proud of yourself. Be your own biggest fan. Don't be somebody else's biggest fan. And I mean that nicely, okay? By all means, I support all of my fitness influencers and I do take ideas from them too, okay? I don't want to knock any of them down at all because they had their own journeys. And we may not see their start to, they may not even be finished, but we don't see their start and their struggles all the time. So just be realistic that there are struggles and there are times when those workouts aren't as clean as they look.
Yeah, I love how you say romanticizing it, right? Like so we romanticize it and then it can become too challenging and unreachable, right? So you're talking about have your own expectations and be realistic with your goals, right? And everything is a process. And so sometimes we see like the perfect take or, the perfect lighting. And then we're like, why am I not looking? Why am I not looking like that?
And you don't see them in the gym when they set up with the cameras and everything too. I mean, I'm jealous because I still don't have a setup for the cameras, but still there's a process definitely. And romanticize yourself. Be happy with how you look now and just know when that time comes, you'll be looking just as good as them. When you put in the time and the consistency, you're going to get there.
Yeah. So how do you help clients break from that addiction or cycle of seeking instant gratification?
It's constant reminders. Like you said, that's part of being a coach too, is just reminding your clients like, hey, I know that you wanted to be a size, whatever size you're trying to be, or I know you wanted to hit that 6-pack for the bikini this summer or that 6-pack for that, whatever you might be doing. But just be proud of where you're at right now. Like, I mean, when we're having our workouts, I'll be like, Luisa, you look so good. Like, oh my gosh, do you see your bicep? Look at the bicep. Like the bicep is, the baby bicep. Baby bicep is still a bicep, okay? It is coming through. Baby bicep didn't exist.
Right.
It was still like a fetus once upon a time, and now it has grown. And that's the thing. Like, you have to just kind of remind yourselves. I used to not have any, not you, okay, not you, but just talking about other people. I used to have no muscle tone. And as somebody that's in fitness as a coach, I know myself, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like, look at how I look. Look at how I look during that lift. Where are my hamstrings? Like, they're gone. Like, I'm all quads. There's always those moments where there's small things that you have to kind of remind yourself I can get better on, or I need to push myself to do a little better with that. And so it's just little reminders that you may not be exactly as fit as the person next to you, but you are your own level of fit, and you're only going to get better.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep doing it. Be consistent.
Yes.
And what's the one thing every person needs to stop doing today if they want to see results?
Comparing yourself to everybody else. That's the simplest thing I can think of, is comparing yourself to everybody else and making excuses. Because yes, you may say, I don't have the time. You do have the time. I'm never going to look like him. I'm never going to look like her. Stop doing that. Get yourself out of that negative mindset. Because if you're in that negative mindset, how are you going to push yourself forward just in life in general, let alone trying to sit here and push heavy weights or sit here and run further? Like, I'm thinking about 100 other things. The last thing I want to think about is how much time I don't have, or how much weight I'm not pushing, or the times I'm not hitting. Stop comparing yourself to anybody else. Just focus on you. Get a little selfish with that. We all want to talk about self-love. Love yourself, love the body you're in, and love the fact that you're going to get better, that you're going to look better, and you're going to feel better. It all comes together.
Yeah, it all comes together. And in therapy, I always talk to people about their physical health, right? How it's really an important component, because there's a connection between the body and the mind. And so I always suggest, if they want to go holistic, okay, well, are you exercising? Are you doing things to get rid of all those stress hormones, right? And create the happy hormones in your body. And I can tell you, right, I've gone through stressful moments, and going to the gym has been really helpful to just get rid of all the stress hormones, and also helping me feel better with my body. So we were talking before we started, and you and some of the people here were saying, like, a lot of people work out when they're drunk. Tell me about that.
I mean, I won't just say just people will work out when they're drunk, but sometimes people do work out just, I guess you could say, under the influence. It might be they partake in substances to make them high, like cannabis is a big thing nowadays too. Same thing with when people drink. It could be something too, again, just the mental part. You need something to help you get through that workout. I do not condone it personally. Like, I get it. Hey, congrats, you made it to the gym. But you have to think about the safety aspects too. You have to think about the other people that you are working out with also. Because do you really want to smell like alcohol when you're sweating it out at the gym? It's one thing to be hungover at the gym and working out to sweat it out of your system. But to be actively drunk, you're kind of messing with other people's flow of their workouts too. And it might make you feel better because you're completely unaware of everybody else. You're focused on you. And as much as I say, yes, it is very much a you journey. Don't do that. It's like, be careful with that. I mean,
you could hurt yourself.
Do that in, the confines of your own home. Okay. Maybe, or just don't. I don't know. Just don't do that.
Yeah, you might drop a dumbbell on your toe.
Exactly.
Or something
you
like
never
that.
know. Just, what is that saying? Drunk actions are sober thoughts or something. So if you want to sit here and think like that's you're saying like, oh, well, I guess sober me wants to be working out, but drunk me is the only one that can do it. Let's find like a medium where those two versions of yourself like combine to preferably like the sober version of you.
Okay. And what are some of the questions that we can ask if we're looking for a trainer? What should we be asking the person that we're hiring?
You want to first, definitely, I love that because you want to ask the trainer everything that you think. And I don't want to say everything because, oh my gosh, now that I think about it and say it, I'm like, if somebody asks me everything, I'm like, oh, I don't have time for this. See, then I'm going to be using the excuse, I don't have time. But for what you want specifically, get selfish with your fitness journey. So say like you want to ask me, what do I need to do to just be overall fit? You're not trying to sit here and be part of a bodybuilding competition, or you're not trying to sit here and join a CrossFit competition, whatever it might be. General fitness, you want to ask the trainer like, hey, what's your background in this? Or what are your takes? Kind of feel out your trainer, feel out personality wise, feel out what their background is, what they've done to get them to where they are. And also, it doesn't hurt to do like a little bit of digging either, especially if you're a parent and you're trying to find a trainer for your child. You want to find the right fit for them. You want to find somebody that motivates you in the gym with the weights, with the cardio, and also somebody that motivates you mentally. That is the biggest thing, because if your coach is not going to be there for you and help you mentally, then that's already hard, because in some ways you need that, like those affirmations from a coach. I mean, why else are you hiring somebody to help you out besides, yes, I don't know what I'm doing in the gym, so please tell me what to do. But some people need to know I'm doing it correctly. Am I able to have that positive influence that's there when I'm just like when I tell you, be like, yes, Luisa, like, and I get annoying in your face, I'm like, hit that last set or whatever it might be. It's just those little bits that you need, the small little pushes. And it doesn't hurt to ask your trainer the background for themselves. Ask them what have they done to get them to where they are. If there's any sports that they like more than the others. Like, again, this is, I guess, a parent trying to find something for their child, or this could be as an adult, you're trying to sit here and think, okay, what's the best way? I just had a baby. A lot of moms, postpartum is hard for mothers. You want to think about, okay, what can I do for my body to get me right? Like when we talk about core and things like that, trying to get some of that stubborn baby weight gone. That is a process, and that is a struggle that I know a lot of moms do have. And you do need that kind of consistent reassurance in what you're doing is the right thing. And also knowing, hey, keep coming. You are doing so well. It's not so much about, and I will say this too, and I'm sure I'll get knocked in some ways, but it doesn't hurt to ask about the price. Seriously, ask about the price too, because some things you may be compare with other trainers too. They don't want to, like, people don't want to hear that, but I'm just being as honest as I possibly can. I, as a coach, want people to come to me because they personally want to get better and they are willing to put in the work. If you're willing to put in the work and do better for yourself, then I'm ready to be there for you and do better. It's not always about a paycheck. And so if you feel like the prices are a little crazy, well then, I mean, you just need to ask, like, what does this all entail too? Because sometimes it might just simply be once a week. Just ask them, what do their workout plans look like? Or what can you do to tailor a workout to me? Right? Because sometimes it might just be like, oh, I'm going to show you this workout and then I'm going to kind of, go off and leave you and then we'll come back. And so you need to make sure that that trainer you have is going to be there with you through that full workout, knowing, like, taking those notes, like, okay, hey, this week was repping the bar. And then she ended with this weight. She added extra 5s or she added 10s. You need to cover your bases, I guess. Before I keep running on and on about the things you can ask, don't feel shy to ask any and every question, because nothing is a wrong question. This is your overall health and this is your overall journey to get there, and also the safety aspects for it too. Yes. So there's not a wrong question.
Okay, well,
there might be stupid questions. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but know your goals, what you want to work on, right? And then how you feel with the trainer. And then something that is going to be, you'll be able to be consistent and stay motivated, right? So it has to be also appropriate, right? Within your budget so that you continue.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Well, thank you so much. Coach, for motivating me to continue and for being here with us. Where can people find you if they want to know more about you?
If you want to know more about me, I would probably say on my Instagram, which is my fitness Instagram, TDathletics_. And you can find anywhere from your daily questions about health to anything about sport-specific things. So I cover anywhere from multiple sports. I still play rugby as an athlete, and whatever it might be, I'm here for you. If you just want small little questions, ask me. I'm here. TDathletics_.
Thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure to like, subscribe, or leave a comment down below.